Hello and welcome. Today's date comes in that of Wednesday. It is the 26th day of February 2020. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. Like always, all bets, trades, and of the like, that's with each's own risk and their own reward. And everything is pretty much down. And we'll start off within the Dow Industrials. Down from, this high around 30,000, 29,005 and change, down to 27,000. Losing, more than, or notice 10% from the lows, gapping down on this day and then just continuing to go down. And, today having a little bit of a bounce, but still below the 18 average on the hourly time frame, and just a major decline, as in stocks, normally markets go down a lot faster in moves in which they go up, and this one being no exception, going through this previous level of support from earlier this year and now meeting up with the resistance that it encountered from last year. We'll get into cryptos after the precious metals because they're the ones taking a big hit, and gold down from this high, I suppose, and really just hanging in there for today. These Fibonacci lines, very interesting, because I drew some short-term ones in. We're going to get to that very soon as well. Why and how they work as well and consistently over and over again, I can't explain it. But they seem to do. Anyway, we resist this 1670 area. And we've had just a little bit of a correction, just not much, as that's something that it didn't do in here. It was come back to where it came from in previous level of resistance at the 1321. Now the same thing as far as two different areas of where we have for potential levels of support going lower. First one in around the high 1500s, this 1580 or so area, and then the 1522 mark, if there's going to be any type of a decent size declines. Because what we're going to see later soon with Bitcoin, you could just be hanging in there, then you can have your big move down. Or we could have looked like maybe back in November last year was going to break down. No go. No, it didn't do it. But because we've had this decent amount of correctionary move, especially if it can establish some more of it, like a lot like we had in here, and then establish bigger this 1670 area, maybe resist it a few more times, and then in time break it out, you can have spectacular moves. But getting out above it, you have to give it the signs. Like you see it going up to like 1678. Oh boy, this thing, maybe we're just resisting it, but we have the potential at those points, if we're there, for what could be just amazing style moves to the upside. Speaking of short term, because what we can see in here is from this high, lower highs and lower lows that have been going in. But I drew some Fibonacci lines in on my last video within gold on a different exchange on here. And why they're doing so well, I don't know. Let me just bring it up in here. There we have it. So then, I don't would have put it, don't know when I put in this these lines, but it was a while ago. It was definitely before it hit this support, but we see here we support in here for just a bit, and then we break below it on this 19 stamp. We're resisting it, come down, piercing above the line, and then we resisted on really two different occasions, three really. You resisted here at the 4-5 stamp, then you resist it on 9 o'clock, and then we resist it here again at 1400 hours. Finding support here, resisting again here, supporting again there. If this level breaks down, I got a support line in at 1595. I don't know what the chances are it would be any good or not, but anyway. Next one, that is silver, and at a little under 18. And this is a single hour term time frame. So from its move up to this 1876 point, having a little bit of resistance in here, comes down, supports perfectly at 1823 yesterday morning. And then after resisting it and congesting it yesterday after at lunchtime, nice little leg lower, up and resisting that area, and just now continuation on this decline. Now, we've really just retested this area And we can see, to me, like this little point here, this is really the more area for this leg higher for where you'd want to hold at the lowest level. And that's where it is now. And of course, that's just via that of the hourly time frame. On the daily time frame, not same sort of deal in that must hold area from this low. Even though 1740 is a big level, I'm looking at these bull markets to make key things of higher lows, and we got the lows in here at 16 and change. We got the double hit lows there. It's going to be a triple hit if it comes back down to 1740. And after breaking through these layers of resistance like this and spending a decent amount of time at and north of the $18 handle, I think it's very vital and crucial for this key area as one of those must hold areas. And we're at a time now where the corona virus is a very large issue, and we'll see how this reacts. I've been thinking a lot of stuff like just-in-time systems that we have. I'm hearing all these factories shut down, but I haven't followed much of the news, nor do I really want to, as far as like in-depth news, that is, of course, within the pandemic going on right now. And I know in such that's going to cause a lot of interesting changes in these markets. Will this be bullish, bearish for things like precious metals and cryptocurrencies? And to me, silver and gold is almost like the guarantee to be of money holding, or something that will protect your wealth, almost guaranteed. Where fiat currencies, you hold them for 10 years, as I mentioned with the whole safe. Let's just put private keys in a safe. Let's put currency in a safe. Let's put metals in the safe. Well, my private keys will still have the Bitcoins or Litecoins that I have on it. My fiat currency will still say $100 on the notes or whatnot. And my gold and silver will still have the gold and silver in it. But will the cryptocurrencies be worth anything in 2030? Will the dollars be worth anything? Will the gold and silver be? And I mean, that's what those are. The last one's an obvious answer. Now let's move on to Bitcoin, which what I've been stating here is how it hasn't been pulling back really in here. It's just been stabilizing and congesting within this around 10,000 area, where it didn't have as much time in this upper area. We were supporting this level of resistance from the end of October and staying, of course, within the 18, but we came down and just all the sideways action. We resisting the 18 average of highs and the exitation occurring on February 25th yesterday. And now we just barely broken down this level of support. We might be down a lot, but we're just starting the statement of, okay, we're bearish, or even then we're not even that. We're just attempting stage 1, band flatten out, stage 2, established support. Is this deep enough to count as support, established support? To me, it's not. Now we are at least that. So wherever we are for this bottom is where the low for this is going to be for stage number 2, established support. Stage 1, band flattening out. And number 3 would be coming back to it in a correctionary mode, either that or through price or through time. How much further we can go? Well, the 77 number to me is big, as the possibility for this inverted head and shoulders pattern would be roughly, we can see here, all 7s is where this line is that coincides with this. Higher low from the 63.42 Fibonacci point as well. And that, if it bottoms from there and it comes back up, everyone's going to see it. If we don't go down much more, meaning if we bottom here or bottom at 87, 86 in this area, that's not supposed to be where we would go down to. Again, it should be going down a bit more, whether it would be like 8,400, 82, or again down the deepest level of 77, which I consider to be the must-hold area. A lot of reason for concern if it's unable to hold and stay above that if it goes there. But if you only go down a bit and we start to see this thing get back into where we were, into the 18, which would right now be over 9,500, if not 96, and it can hold and stay there, we'd be looking at this as that possibility of the failed breakdown. And there's always going to be failed breakouts that are going to happen over and over along the way. The crypto market is an extremely volatile market, and there's going to be heart-wrenching moves that are just going to happen along the way. And if you're in the hope or business of trying to make like 10, 20, 100, 1,000, 20,000 X returns, and I'm not sarcastic when I say 100 or 20,000 X returns because of the nature of the volatility, then you're going to have to go through situations where you might see your portfolio losing 20, 30, 50, 60, 70% at times. There's just really no other way. And something that I learned today is that there are things called Ethereum bear against both the dollar and, well, whether it's a tether or the and there's bull ones as well, or against the Binance coin, which is the BUSD. So we can see here, this is Ethereum on the daily chart, and this is I remember learning like the Direxia and leverage funds. This is a 3x leverage fund. And we take a look at this, say, on the hourly term time frame. The bear fund has went from $10, we'll call it a share, I guess, I don't know, a coin, up to 18. And they have it for the bull as well. So you can go like this, and of course this one is going to be doing the opposite. Now what I'm curious about, I'm going to see this for the first time, is we are at levels seen February 5th, 9 o'clock in the morning. February 5th, 9 o'clock. February 5th, 9 o'clock in here, we can see, ooh, look at this. We're well above it yet. The ETF, we'll call it, I guess, it's exactly, in fact, this is an extremely risky one. These things, it's at the same price where you should be up if you were just to buy and hold this kind of thing. So if we go like this and look at it again, you can see it's taking more of the hits along the way. So these things are going to be designed to just be getting crushed on the long-term time frame. But this vehicle is an interesting one, especially if you're like me and you don't like to, you're way against that. Meaning I don't like to borrow or lend, so I'm not going to play any of this leverage kind of stuff, the traditional leverage. This takes this away from me. But this is the type of thing where if you're looking to get in and out of codes, I think, in and out of like for short-term trades, then you would be looking at plugging away, because obviously you can see you'd be getting your ass kicked if you're holding this, losing pretty much close to half your value. But if you can plug away at getting in at this, maybe you're seeing, okay, this would have been a fantastic move. Okay, let's see what we got for above the 18. Okay, maybe we'll go long at 22.68, and you're right. I mean, of course, I knew that was going to go up, but now you see the type of gains that you can get, and it makes it a decent sort of day trading tool. Now, the altcoins are getting their asses destroyed, as we can just take a look on just a few individual ones. Coins against Binance. This is the entire BNB level. I was planning just holding this for a few days, and I should have. This is the one I knew was probably going to do well, and of course it's kicking ass. But the top gainers against Binance coin up 2%, and Binance coin is getting its ass kicked too. The top losers, I don't know why these ones are not sorting right for percentage loss. Here we go. Yep, so 11%, 8%, 9%, and just even the codes that I'm trading, everything is just getting its ass kicked against Bitcoin. And Litecoin now back to that 70 number. An interesting chart when we look at this on the daily, because it's like the double top-ish, that kind of stuff. It tried to get a bit above this, never did get to this 88 handle, basically 50% in between the two Fibonacci levels. And multiple hit points resisting this. If this breaks down further, maybe we come down to this point and hit these levels. And a lot of this is maybe, which is a lot of times when I trade coins against each other, I don't know what direction it's going to go next as far as the journey and the destination. The destination for me, I feel cryptos are going to at least do well for another decent leg higher, meaning Bitcoin talk of 20, 30, 40, 60, 80,000 plus. And that's altcoins. How many of them are going to do well moving forward? And then they're going to have their up and down moves. So I'm just going to trade the ratios. And when something has a decent sized move, then I'm going to trade against it. But everything going down together can make it a little frustrating at times, because now I'm like, okay, I've been waiting for pullbacks with things like Tezos, and because other coins I'm trading against are also going down, I'm not maybe able to get as many of these nice little moves. Now, these Fibonacci lines here are working very interesting. We did come down to this next one, and when we take a look at this, say on a short-term time frame in here, we can see so far the fact that it's finding a bottom in here. I mean, it's been doing this over and over. If this finds a sustained bottom here, well, that would be very interesting, because we got a bottom here at 28.39. We got a 29.16 as a key level. 30.79 was key. 31. I mean, you can stick a line almost any of these spots in here, and many of them are just going to coincide with some sort of area from any one of these levels. But we can see 35.32. It did resist and support it magnificently. It congested at 32.46, and so far, all it's done at 28.16 is come down to it once and support it. And really that is it. I mean, it's just not much at all, because it's also supported again 2,800. It supported 2,900. It supported 33,000. It supported 31.38 as well. And let's finish this off within Bitcoin dominance, which is going up. And on the 1 hour time frame, we can see we had these highs in here at 65, well, at least on this number. Now it's at 65.86. Notice the above making a pattern of several higher highs and higher lows from the February 23rd lows 3 days ago. On the daily time frame, this is an attempt getting above the 18 average of highs. So to me, what's the failure going to be? It's one or the other. The failure is either going to be this whole attempt that's been going on for most of 2020 and reverting this to a downtrend, because it's only went down to this level here. And if we're talking about a serious reversal, we're talking about at least coming into down these points in here. But along the way, if this thing manages to make a move above the 18, which it already has within today's session, and then fail, which means I'm going to be looking at the 18 average of lows in here, and this previous level of support at around 63 3/4, at least on this index number. I don't know if this is what the actual real percentage is, but that's touche in the sense of where the lines and how these levels work, and that's what I'll be looking at. If this area does come in here and we see any type of failures like this, then that can be just like that could be a devastating move to the downside. But at the same point, like I mentioned, failed move on either direction seems to be what's in store. And now that we're talking about this, let's just talk about what we need for reversal of trend. And well, we've been in a downtrend from this high. So stage 1, band flattening out. Stage 2, establish a level of resistance. So wherever this high is what that's going to be. And as, of course, if it comes in here and we move to this level, well, now the verdict comes in, real or not real. And if you start to see that it starts to make the move and gets above like a key point like this, well, now you'd be looking at all of this as a failed move. And okay, well, at least are we going to come up to here? And if we do that, are we going to go even north of this as possibilities that can be coming into play for it? We'll see. My bet, of course, is that altcoins are going to be doing well, and I'll be just, again, flipping them back and forth as I've been talking about for quite some time. Thank you for tuning in to today's video, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.